So have you raced in V8 supercars or dabbled in that at all?
I have, yes. I progressed through Formula Ford and raced against a lot of the current V8 supercar drivers back in those days, Russell Ingall and various different people, Mark Larkham. And to be honest, my route was never focused on V8 supercars. Or back in the day when I was coming through, it was called Australian Touring Cars. We had the likes of Peter Brock and Dick Johnson, all those sort of people racing, and I was offered test drives and things like that to join teams, but I sort of was focusing on Formula One. I really wanted to try and crack into the European scene, and my mind was set that I wanted to be a Formula One driver, like probably a lot of kids are, and I went overseas and did a test in the Formula 3000 car. So my route didn't take me directly to V8 supercars. I ended up doing some endurance racing in the Bathurst 1000 and Sandown or Queensland 500. With various teams, so I've probably competed at Bathurst 5 or 6 times in V8 supercars. Not really that successfully. We were running second in one event, and then the other driver spun out. I think we were fourth in another car with Wayne Gardner, the ex-motorcycle world champion. I drove with him 1 year, and we were running fourth, and then the engine had problems. So, yeah, never had any luck to sort of progress, and it wasn't really something I focused on too much.
Yeah, pretty impressive, man. So, when did you know that you were going to go into GT rather than F1?
I guess I came back I went to the UK, I moved over there, I had some backing, so I did a 3000 test with a team called Mansell Madgwick over there, and that went really well. This was back in the early 90s, and money was tight. We were really struggling to survive, let alone sort of, I'd borrowed money to do Formula Ford, so at that stage, it all seemed very difficult to even get anywhere near achieving. I came back from the UK, I guess, with my tail between my legs and a debt to pay and money to pay off. And I was actually offered a drive with another team in South Australia called Barana Engineering, and they were starting a team in what was called Formula Holden over here in Australia. So it was a Formula 3000 chassis, carbon fibre Formula One style chassis with a Holden V6 engine in it out of the local produced cars over here. And it was quite a good category, and we had some good races, some good drivers, and I managed to win 3 Australian championships in that, which led me to, I guess, where do I go from there? V8s weren't that much interest, and I wasn't getting much interest because I probably got a bit older. And I was offered a drive for the importers and distributors of Lamborghini over here in Australia, which was just starting off. So they initially put me in a Lotus to do some Lotus in some of the production car racing over here, production sports car racing. And then I went into to drive their Lamborghini after that. So I ran the SVR and then the GTR in the local series over here, which was called Nations Cup. And managed to achieve some success in that as well. So we won 2 national championships in that. And from there on in, it's been a little bit, dabbling in bits and pieces here and there. In the last few years, I've sort of ended up in GT3 and an Audi R8. So, but I'm classified as an amateur driver now, not a pro. So it's sort of opened up some doors because I'm still reasonably quick as an AM driver. So it's been fairly handy.
Great to hear, man. What are GT cars compared to other cars? GT3 worldwide series, obviously, as would race at your races over there in Daytona and stuff in the lower categories. So the Audi R8, the Ferrari, the Porsche GT3 RS, various different cars, the Mercedes AMG GT. So they've restricted its worldwide formula. They run air restrictors and weight to try and ballast the cars and keep their competition as close as possible, and that's controlled through SRO, which is the world controlling body for GT racing in the world, and whatever happens in Europe happens in Australia, happens in America, happens wherever, so the same rules apply everywhere. GT3's been an awesome category. It's not a cheap category, for the people that are in it, but they're a lot of fun to drive. They've got massive downforce, for a sports car, and they're a good fun car to drive. So at the moment I'm enjoying that. We start another season up here in 2 weeks at Phillip Island, and I'm driving in an Audi R8 with a young lady over here called Renee Gracie. So co-driving with her this year. It's pretty amazing, man. So what is driving those GT cars like compared to go-karts and others? Are they very powerful?